Hello. Welcome. Hi. So this is my second stream. This time I'm by myself, so it's gonna be fun. I figured it'd be fun to do some drawing since my channel is all about drawing, and I thought I'd work on some character designs I have for my character. So yeah, we're gonna do that. I feel like it's gonna run a little better drawing instead of playing the game because playing a video game really makes my computer lag out, so this should be fun. Yeah. So just give me a moment. I'm going to set up. I have a drawing ready, so we're going to start with that. But first, my dog wants to get out. One moment. Alright. Okay, so, I don't know how long I'm going to work on this. I made this rough sketch in my sketchbook. That's how I usually go about making art. I draw it first in a sketchbook, traditionally, and then I take a picture of it and I put it into Photoshop and I just trace over my drawing. So that's what this is going to look like. Let me just pull up my file. Here we are. Okay, so this is a character design I am working on for Kazuyo. It's just another like idol outfit, kind of like the one my character is wearing right now. But I was trying to go for a more different style. I really wanted to do something with beads and all that, so that's what we got here. I'm not sure what colors I want to do yet for the costume, but this is pretty much where I'm starting. So I'm going to start outlining it, and we'll see how it goes. And this is a way for you to figure out my technique when I draw, how I go about it. Also, if you can hear my dog barking in the background, he's a little guard boy. Now, of course, I've been drawing a lot, so I have a lot of files open for Photoshop, and right now it's being annoying and telling me that I have too many files, so I'm gonna clear out some space so it'll let me draw. Because you gotta love that when files take up too much space. That's alright. I have a lot of like Photoshop files that I don't really need. Just take a moment. This is kind of proof I draw too much. I have so many files that my computer is like mad that I have too many. Because I mean, I guess it's like I don't want to get rid of a file if like sometimes I'm just like, am I really done with this drawing, or do I ever want to come back to it? I'm going to switch to this camera while I'm trying to clear some space. Alright, I think I figured it out. Sorry about that technical difficulty, so I should be able to draw it now. But don't be surprised if that happens again, because sometimes my computer's like, oh, you have enough room on your computer to draw one line, but do you have room to draw two? No, I don't think so. So we'll see how that goes. But anyways, I'm going to start outlining this, and typically I think it's easier if I turn the opacity down on my reference drawing, so then I can see my own lines that I'm adding better. And then we're going to zoom on in, and I turned my smoothing up a little bit because that makes it a little easier, I think. And let's get into it. And I don't usually want like a super thick brush, so... I like to start with the bangs. I think it's like the easiest spot to start. I wish I could like play music or something, because I feel like that would make it more fun, but I can guarantee it would get taken down. Yo, get into it. Yep. Doja Cat? Get into it, yo. Or that Taco Bell commercial. Some of those are strange, like Taco Bell commercials. I don't know why they gotta make them so weird, you know? Like, there's a lot of stuff that people are excited to do, and then they just drop it for Taco Bell. Like, I don't know, man. I don't see the purpose. I'm really proud of these little space bun thingies. They're like little cat space buns I made for this character. I thought it was a cute design. I actually made a wig for Kazuyo a long time ago when I was going to cosplay this character, because she's an OC of mine that I made. Specifically, it was going to be for a like monster dance group, because she was supposed to be like a succubus. But I changed my mind. I kind of toned her down a little bit and made her just be like a devil character instead. I didn't really want her to be a succubus, because, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like... I think she wants to be a little more, like, not so mature. And then I decided, since I made this character, why don't I make a story about her? And that's why I have a webtoon. But as a VTuber, I just wanted her to be an idol. I didn't want her to be, like, a monster character, since I'm not cosplaying her, but I might in the future. Like, it'd be kind of fun to take one of these, like, costume designs I made and turn it into a cosplay. Like, that'd be a fun sewing project. My own original design made into something. And I'm not going to be, like, super picky about how well her face is drawn and stuff, because this is mostly to show off the outfit I came up with. And I don't know about you, but I struggle drawing chins. But yeah, maybe one day I'll bring out that wig for this character and I could cosplay it again. I just wore like regular clothes last time. I want to turn this into a cosplay. Maybe not this outfit, maybe like the character, what my VTuber's wearing. That'd be kind of fun. But we'll see, you know? It depends which costume design I like the best. I feel like every time I draw eyes, they end up a little bit different. Like, I can't really pick, like, a eye shape for this character to, like, stick with. Sometimes she's kind of got the droopy eyes, sometimes she doesn't. I mean, when I drew the VTuber model, I used the symmetry option, so she would be like symmetric when she moves her head and stuff. But, you know, don't always need that. And sometimes symmetry doesn't look right. If it's too symmetrical, then all of a sudden your character looks kind of weird. And I'm like, we don't need that. I also really like making like the pupils look like this moon shape for some reason. I just think it looks really nice, and it's not just a dead circle like in the middle. Because sometimes if you draw eyes without like the light shine, they look kind of creepy. And I know in a lot of anime too, the characters will have like, they'll like have something happen where like they lose their soul, or like a lot of times in Sailor Moon when like Usagi would like lose her like spirit to go on. She would just all of a sudden the light in her eyes would fade, and it's just like this like doom of like shaded anime eye. I always thought it was kind of creepy as a kid. I was like, why did they lose like the light in their eyes? Like it was like usually when they're possessed or something. It was always really strange. I mean, it was always like the most interesting episodes that they do that though. I'd be like, oh, whoa, you know something's going down when Sailor Moon looks like she has no hope for the future. But like every season, like all her friends would die, and she'd just be like, oh well, you know, they're dead. That sucks. And then they come back, and she's like, oh, good. I mean, it was really depressing because she'd always be like, I have to keep going. And then she hears their voices, and they're like, keep going. And she's like, okay. It's sad stuff. I've been forcing myself to draw more jewelry too, because I tend to like kind of forget about that stuff. I'm like, what makes a good character costume? Details. What kind of details can I add? Jewelry? It's also been a while since I drew this concept, so like I kind of forgot what I had in mind for this. Like, I don't know why I did like 3 straps and then this little ruffle part, but we're going with it. Nothing wrong with a little ruffle. And then for this top, I had like an idea, like it's kind of supposed to look like a butterfly. Like kind of like a monarch butterfly, or those ones that have like the really cool like black like shapes all over. But I don't really know if I want to make them like that. But I always thought like it kind of reminds me of like stained glass windows too. I was like, that'd be kind of unique. Like I made that part first, and then I'm like, let's just add on from here, because why not? Also, sorry if my character ends up like ever looking really wonky. Sometimes if I turn my head, she kind of like breaks. But I'm new to making VTuber characters, so she's not perfect, but she's mine, and I made her, so I'm proud of her. I know she doesn't totally match up to what I say sometimes, because there's a lot of programs running on my computer, so she gets a little slow. But she still moves, she works as much as I need her to. I can't really complain. And I'm also a self-taught VTuber rigger, and I just kind of watched some tutorials on YouTube and tried my best. So it's nothing professional, but maybe one day when I learn more about it, I can have a really good setup. That's why I've been streaming, to try to, you know, make use of what I made. Because, you know, I spent a lot of time making this character. I don't want it to go to waste. Oh boy. Looks like the scratch files are full again. So I'm going to have to remove some files. Bear with me. Well, that was annoying. But that's okay. We're back. And I am able to draw again. So, we can continue. So I wouldn't be surprised if that happens again because, the more I draw, apparently, the more the file doesn't like it. So I don't know how to do anything about that. I don't know if anybody has ever had issues where their scratch discs get filled when they use Photoshop. So I'm just gonna save my file while I can, because even too, if the scratch discs get full, it doesn't even let me save my work, which is stressful. And I've had this issue a lot because I have a MacBook. And ever since a MacBook, I've always, Photoshop files just fill it up. And I always see, oh, get a new scratch disk to, send your stuff to. But I don't really know where the scratch disk is on my computer. So it's just kind of hard to figure out. Which is fine. I'm sure I'll figure it out one day, but I'd like something that I could fit more drawings on, because that's pretty much all I really use my computer for, is to make art. Because sometimes, even if I'm just drawing on my own, I'll get the scratch disc full thing, which, it's kind of annoying, but what can you do? Anyways, back to the drawing. I thought these puffy sleeve things would be kind of neat. They're going to be kind of transparent. So I'm going to, probably when I draw her arms, I'm going to make them lighter, which I'm going to draw a second layer for that. And you can kind of see it through the transparent fabric. I'm going to do the same thing on this side because I don't want to be in the wrong layer. Also, another tip for art. Always name your layers so you don't get confused and have to hide them to figure out what's what. It seems tedious, but it's really helpful in the long run. But there have been so many times where I forget to switch layers and I realize I outlined on my original drawing, or I colored in the skin color or something, and I'm coloring and all of a sudden I notice it goes over the outline. I'm like, ooh, that's not right. Usually I notice pretty fast with that because I'm so I just color. But you never know. You never know. Which sucks. Who doesn't love a good big puffy sleeve? Honestly, they're fun. You can flop them around and stuff. This would be a fun costume to wear. I would wear it on a warm day so I don't freeze, because this is a very summery outfit. I mean, it's like going out in cosplay when it's cold out. Oh, it sucks. I'm planning to go to Anime Milwaukee this year, and I know it's going to be so cold going through the parking lot. But then it's do you want to bring your jacket in and carry it around all day? I mean, you can do baggage claim, or get your stuff checked and keep it in a room. Who wants to pay for that? You're already paying for parking and the con badge and all that, so it's a pain in the butt. I might do it anyways, though. But I'm really excited because I haven't gone to a convention in so long. I got everything planned out pretty much, and it's gonna be really fun. I'm really excited to go out and cosplay again and have people recognize my characters and stuff. I haven't gone to a convention since the last Anime Milwaukee, and I really want to go. It's not gonna be the same, obviously, but it's been too long. It's kind of funny, my first convention after they finally come back is the one I last went to. Because a lot of them aren't coming back anymore. I know I always liked going to Daishoukan, but they're not going to be doing that one anymore, which is pretty sad. That was such a good one too. Like, it gives you an excuse to go to a water park. Like, who doesn't want to do that? It's the perfect thing. Anime and swimming. And then you can do cute swimsuit photo shoots and stuff. Like the beach episode of like every anime ever. Give you an excuse to cosplay from that. Although usually that convention happened when it was cold out too. Something that'd probably be good to just back up and make sure my drawing looks okay. And it's doing alright. I think I'm going to fix this shoulder though, because it looks kind of lopsided. It's always good to step back, because if you get too close to your drawing, you don't realize what looks wrong with it. When I took art classes, they always said, hey, if you think your drawing looks okay, flip it. Flip it, reverse, and see if it still looks alright when you flip it. If something doesn't look right, that's how you know your proportions are off. My problem is I'm lazy. I'm like, looks good. No one's going to see it flipped. I don't need to. Kind of like when you take a picture, and if you have your camera set to, like, flip the photo after you take it, and you're like, oh, whoa, why do I look so weird? Because we're so used to seeing ourselves in a mirror. But, you know, it's all about how you perceive yourself. So another thing I thought, because I know I mentioned before that I wanted this costume to be lots of beads. So I thought I could add these little bead clips to her hair. I think those look cute. I'm going to add them to both sides, and it's kind of like this little like hair clip thing that hangs off her hair. Because I want to keep her signature little triangle buns for the most part when I make new outfits, but I think it's boring if I don't put anything in her hair. Gotta have a little something, right? You know? So the reason I'm making this character be an idol is because there's a few reasons. One reason is because this character was originally supposed to be for a cosplay idol dance group, and I wanted to keep the same background for this character that I was originally intending. And I just think like idol personas are really fun. I have been in a idol group before in the Minnesota area, Stan Impulse. They are still doing content. I no longer am able to go because I don't live close enough, but please still support them. They are really talented, and I know they're planning a new convention show soon. So if you're interested, this is a little plug for Impulse MN. You can find them here on YouTube. They're also on Instagram, so feel free to check them out. We got a lot of content up from previous shows. I am also in those videos. I'm the green member. You can see a little stuff about me. And yeah, they're planning more content. They've had some shows ever since I've been gone as well. But because of that, I was like, well, if I'm not going to be an idol anymore, what if I still make content revolving around idols? So that's where Kazuyo came into play, and she's my little idol OC. So I want to draw her a lot and really get her out there. And being a green member in my group originally, I was like, well, let's do something different. Let's do a pink character. Let's go like the other end of the spectrum here. and I think she's really fun. I like her pink hair, and I like her little side pieces she has by her cheeks. So that's my little background on my character here. You know, I made these a little uneven, but I kind of like it. I actually think it looks nice that they're like kind of, you know, not perfectly symmetrical. Sometimes a little unbalance is good. Like, I know right now it's really popular to get like earrings that are like different sizes, because then it's like a little different. Nothing needs to be perfectly symmetrical, you know? Gotta have a little flair. Gotta live a little. There we go. It's gonna take a long time to color in her hair when I get to that part. Luckily, like, the outlining part is pretty straightforward. You draw, and you just kind of copy what you've already made. The hardest part was probably coming up with a design, but once you have it, you know, you're good. And then you just keep tracing over. You don't need references for this part because you're literally just copying what you already made. Although a lot of times once you finish like the outline and you turn off like your base layer, it's like, ooh, that doesn't look as good as I thought. You know, artist problems. And here I thought these little like side bow ruffle thingies would be cute. I tend to, when I make costumes, I just always do like a back bow. I was like, let's switch it up. Let's make it kind of mermaid feeling. So this is kind of like a summery, mermaidy looking bead style outfit. And I think it looks nice. I'm liking it. I have some other designs I want to work on too, eventually. But for now, this is one I thought would be good for this stream. I have a few other designs, like I have a more kimono looking outfit I created. Kind of like it's like the summer yukatas that idol characters usually have. That's another thing. I've always really liked idol animes. I watched a little bit of Bang Dream. I've really gotten invested in Love Live. I've watched Utapri. I've watched a little bit. There's some other ones too, like a little lower mainstream. K-pop is pretty popular. I like a lot of like J-pop groups too. So that's another reason I wanted to make an idol character, because I've been really invested in like the idol culture. And you know what they say, once you're in it, you can't get out. I considered making this character a magical girl too, but maybe that will be like a spin-off series or like a alternate reality. If I ever decide to like stray away from my original story for Devilish, maybe I'll do like a magical girl story. Like if I ever decide to do like kind of like non-canon story episodes for that. Also, please read Devilish on Webtoon. I have 5 chapters out currently. If you look up Devilish with an exclamation point, you can find my story. You'll see Kazuyo with her devil horns and wings as the cover image. And it would mean a lot to me if people read the story. I'm working really hard on it. I've been trying to release stuff every 2 weeks, maybe 3. I'm a little behind because I've been a little busy this week. But I got a chapter out this Saturday. So I've been trying to make a lot of content. I really want to be invested in creating and just taking the time to continuously make content. I know it gets difficult sometimes to try to have the motivation. I'm sure everybody can relate, but I'm determined to just keep being productive. Like, because I really enjoy art and I really enjoy creating and I want people to enjoy what I enjoy. Hence why I'm doing a live stream of drawing. It's fun to share hobbies, and it's kind of fun to show people your process when you make art, because when I first learned how to draw digitally, I never really knew how to do it, and I never like knew the techniques, and it really helped to watch like live stream videos. Or like sometimes people do like speed paints. I have a few of those on my channel where you record yourself drawing and then you speed up really fast and you can watch the process fast. But then it's harder to tell what's going on. Like I remember a lot of times I'd see like people do stuff and they draw and all of a sudden like the whole character's blue and then their skin color shows up and like their hair color, and I'm like, what did you do? How did they do that? Like, what is the point of that? And I totally lost. But, you know. Also, sorry, my ringer's on my phone if you guys can hear that. I've been so invested in drawing, I haven't really bothered to turn it off. I'm sure you guys can hear a lot of background noise because this is a very sensitive microphone. Like sometimes I record it and I notice it will pick up just me clicking with my mouse. But it means you got a good microphone. As long as you guys hear me all right, nothing wrong with that. Besides, I know my character, she lags a little bit when she talks compared to when I talk, but it's not the end of the world. No VTuber is perfect, although some are pretty dang close. No self-made VTuber from someone who's never done it before. And that's me. I've never done that before, but I'm really glad I tried. I knew I could make something work. You guys can see my ruffle technique. I like to keep it simple. I try to draw, like, the more little shapes, the better. And I try to keep the lines not connected because I feel like it looks smoother. Also, speaking of Love Live, I guess I could, like, talk about, because since I'm making an idol character, why don't I talk about some of my favorite characters from that show? Because if you like idol stuff, you've probably watched Love Live. I haven't been super into it lately, but they've been making a lot of content lately, so I'll just like talk about some of my favorite characters. So season 1, obviously Muse. I really like Nozomi. I think she's super cute. A lot of people don't like her voice, and I can see why. When I first heard it too, I was kind of shocked. I figured she'd have a deeper voice for the kind of character she is. But when I heard her sing the first time, I was like, whoa, that's not what I was expecting. So it's not like my favorite thing ever, but I like her character, and I think she's really cute. So. And honestly, I just don't have a whole lot of favorites from Muse. Like, I like them as a group, but I don't really like any of the characters super, like, they're, like, the best one ever. I think, honestly, as they've worked on Love Live, they've gotten better at making characters. So that's why in Aqua, from the second Love Live, I have 2 favorite characters. It's kind of a tie between Mari and Hanamaru, but I'd say Mari is I like her a little bit more. She's a little more like Nozomi to me. I think that's why. But I still think I like Nozomi the best. But Hanamaru has such a good voice. Oh my goodness, she's amazing. So, and I really, really I just think, like, overall, Aqua's character designs all look really good together. So, then in the Nijizaki group, I really, really I haven't really picked a favorite, because they're not the same. They're not like a group. They're all individual idols. So I really like Setsuna, but I also really like Rina. And I also really like Lanzu, so it's like I can't think of favorite. And they kept adding more characters, so now I'm just like, ah. And then from Leela, I think that's how you say it, the newest Love Live. I think I really either like Sumire or Ren. Because Sumure's character's fun. It's really neat that she's like a rapper. But then Ren, I think she's got the most unique voice of the entire group. So it's really hard to pick my favorite. I mean, there's only 5 of them at least in that group to choose from. But also, I really like that the Seiyu for Kanon, I forget how you say her name too. The main one, the orange one. She's like way shorter than the rest of the girls in the group. And that makes me feel like good because like as someone who's shorter than usually the rest of my friends as a dancer, I always felt like it looked kind of odd for like formations and stuff. But to have her be the center and she's the shortest in the group. And they're all like, oh, you know, this group wouldn't be the same without her amazing singing. It's like, okay, all right, I like that. It makes me feel better about being so short. Short gang, rise up, you know? Like, no one, we're not seen. The world isn't built for short people. And I'm sorry if you're average height or tall, but that's just my experience. But it's true. Like, if I get, like, a skirt or something and I put it on, it, like, goes almost to my knees, and other people wear them, and they're just like, oh, it fits perfect. And I'm like, I have short legs. But what can you do? So another thing I noticed, too, when I draw is the shoes always get, like, cut off in my sketchbook. So these are just kind of going to be cut off in the drawing because I'm lazy, and I don't feel like making the file size any bigger. Plus, I don't really want the scratch discs to get stuck again. So we're just going to leave it cut off. We don't need to see her toes anyways. Who needs toes? She's wearing shoes. She don't need toes. No toes here. It's the no-toe zone. And not like towing your car. Alright, we're getting somewhere. I got one more leg to do, and then I can start doing the colors. I'm saving the pattern on her shirt till when I use color, because I think it will look better and not outlined. But yeah, and then I gotta do some more of her hair. I thought Kazuyo would be really cute with, like, kind of wavy hair in this costume. So we're gonna do that. And, oh, it's gonna take a long time to color in her hair. And I usually, with, like, these kind of, like, costumes, I never really know what to do for, like, their legs. So I typically just stick with, like, the thigh-high socks, because they're easier, and I feel like it helps. I don't always think we want bare legs. I mean, who wants that? I mean, I guess if you're dancing, though, it's kind of a pain, because then they slip down, but I feel like it just adds more to have the socks, because it makes there's more to see. Because, I mean, come on, have you ever looked at, like, idol gacha game cards? Those things are so detailed. Oh my goodness. I'm not the best at drawing shoes. They're just always awkward for me, but at least we can see pretty much all of this foot. But she looks a little stubby, so I'm going to draw it bigger. It's kind of hard to draw shoes, like, facing forward, because they don't look right. They look like stubs. But, you know, perspective is a confusing thing. Like, you can just draw a hand straight forward and it just looks like it's like arm and then hand. Like there's a hand growing out of their shoulder. It's like, what? We're almost done with the outline, everybody. Aren't you excited? We can move on to color, which is probably one of the longest parts of the drawing process. It's like the most tedious, especially because I don't close my lines, so I have to physically color everything in. I can't just paint, drop, bucket. Which would be easier, but I just feel like it makes the character not look as nice when everything is a closed line. It kind of defeats the point of line art, I feel. I don't know. It's just a personal preference. I used to draw like that. But I also used to draw using, like, the protractor tool or whatever that's called, where it's like you, like, create a line and then you stroke it. Yeah, that was so tedious. Definitely not for me. I like the hand-drawn feel too. Here's another thing where I just kind of, wherever it feels like I need a line, I'll just add it. Alright, the outline is complete. Let's hide this and see if I hate it. Okay, not bad. I actually think it looks nice. Now I'm going to add a blank layer so I can see the lines better. There. Alright, looks pretty good to me. I'm happy with it. I'm going to save it, and then we're going to move on to coloring. So just give me one moment. I'm going to get some reference images up. Alright, I got my reference image. Let's go. Actually, give me 1 second. I guess I should have realized that my character has had her eyes closed for a while because the sun was coming through my room and it wasn't tracking my face properly. So, Kazuya, I guess, can draw with her eyes closed, that's fun. Yeah, I was just a silhouette, so that's alright. Alright, so anyways, we're going to continue on with the drawing. Alright. So, give me 1 second. Alright. I believe should be able to hear me. At least I hope so. By the way, I'm using my VTuber character for references for the colors. So you can see an angry Kazuyo there, which is kind of fun. But I'm going to use that for the skin color. And her hair. And then I'm going to come up with my own colors for the rest, which I don't really know what I'm going to do with that yet. So let's start with the skin tone, because I always say start with the skin tone first because it's the most back layer on your character. And you can really just color outside the lines and be messy with it. Since these are going to be transparent sleeves, I'm just going to color right through them, and I'll cover that up later. Although right here, I have to color right up to the lines because I don't have anything behind this, or in front of this. So her hands, I actually have to try hard. But everything like with the hair and stuff, I don't have to worry about it. And I'm going to clean up the lines because it's really easy to color outside of the coloring spot. Also, I thought I'd mention, since I'm doing a live stream where I'm just drawing and I'd like to just chit-chat while I do this, I would always like suggestions for other stream ideas. I know I want to stream Teamfight Tactics eventually. Maybe I'll do League. But I'm a little nervous that it's going to make my computer really slow. But it'd be an option. I bought an adapter so I can play Animal Crossing. Maybe I'll do some houses in the DLC. Because I have that, and that'd be kind of fun. I think that'd be fun to get some input on what I should do for the designs. And yeah. So if anyone ever has ideas for live stream ideas, please let me know. I think it'd be kind of fun too, like if I ever played like Mario Party with my sisters or something, you can watch us like totally destroy each other. But not gonna lie, I usually win, so... Alright, I don't know why I just labeled that wrong, so we're going to move on to the hair, because coloring the skin is pretty fast. And let's get a sample of the hair. Hello, angry Kazuyo. I'm looking at myself. Ah! I know, how full of yourself do you have to be to draw yourself all the time? Come on, Kazuyo, get with it. A VTuber drawing their own VTuber self. What does this world come to? Also, don't you just love how vibrant her hair is? It's just super radioactive. It's always so tedious, though, to like color in something skinny and then you gotta erase if you go outside the lines. People are always like, oh, you shouldn't be a kid and color inside the lines. It's actually harder than you think. Believe it or not. Staying inside the lines is not exactly only for children to not do. I gotta clean up my artwork too, you know. I mean, I could use a smaller brush, but who wants to do that? One bun colored. Woo! Oh yeah. Can I get a woot 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 woot? I'm also the kind of person that when I make art, I like to color everything in and then do shading, because I like to keep like the same opacity brush and not have to change settings too much. I think I'm just going to color straight over this because I can make a layer on top of the bead for the beads. Although I'm going to have to bring up my original reference drawing again for when I do the shirt design, because I don't remember exactly how I drew it. Although I'm not sure how far I'm going to get today. I might just color in a few more parts and then call it done for now. Because honestly, just doing the line art is quite a big thing to do. And I'm getting the biggest part colored in. The hair is honestly what takes the longest. I'm getting very used to this shade of pink. I've drawn Kazuyo a lot, especially for my comic. Read on a webtoon. Should. It's a good story. I'm excited to keep going. I have lots of high hopes for this story. I haven't decided if I'm going to do anything crazy yet. I want to add some twists, maybe. I'm not sure yet. We'll decide in the future. Yeah. But I got a lot of ideas, and I really would love for everybody to enjoy it with me. And it's just nice because I have a place I can share my story. I've done webtoon before. I made a comic just kind of about like stuff in my life, just little daily adventures whenever I feel like it. But it was kind of hard to keep making content for that and coming up with stories that are engaging without really an end point. So I thought making a actual story would be a little more fun. That seems to be what's more popular on webtoon anyways. But it's just so nice to have somewhere to post that kind of thing and have where you can have a subscription story. Oh my gosh, you remember me from my Disney Create days. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I have a lot of stuff from Disney Create. I'm really glad you like my art still. I've been trying to stay artistic. Like, ever since the days of Disney Create, I have been still just obsessed with drawing. I know everybody really liked my stuff back then. And honestly, I look back and I'm like, oof, I just drew like discount Powerpuff Girls all the time. But that was what was popular. So, for people who don't know, Disney Create. Let's go a little back in time here, shall we? Disney Create was this website back on like the DisneyChannel.com. So you know where you'd go and play like that one like Sweet Life of Zack and Cody game or the Hannah Montana fashion design games and stuff. There was a section on that website called Disney Create. And on Disney Create, you could just draw whatever you wanted. It was like a free, like, kind of like digital drawing space. Kind of like Photoshop, but a little lower quality. There's a lot of, like, differences with that stuff. And what was cool about it was you could make an account and you could post your artwork. Here's the thing. You could pretty much draw whatever you wanted, as long as I don't know if it was like an algorithm, if it was like actual people. I've heard that it could have been both. That would look at what you draw, and you would, they would decide if it could be published or not. And I remember thinking too, it only published on weekdays. And if I ever drew anything on the weekend when I had time to draw, because I was a kid at the time, you had to wait till Monday came around for your stuff to get posted. So you draw, and sometimes they would say no, and they wouldn't approve your stuff, and you couldn't post it because they thought it was like against the terms or whatever, which was always really annoying. But I remember I was pretty active on there. I remember going like on vacation with my family, and I would use their phones back before like iPhones existed to check if people had seen my stuff, or like if anyone like liked my posts or drawings and commented. And I would like refresh the phone all the time to see, and I'd go on the website on there and be like, oh my gosh, did my art post yet? I want to know if it posted. Did anyone say anything? And I had like this group of friends from Disney Create who like knew me, and they like reached out to me outside of the website because, you know, it's Disney Channel. It was very censored on what you could say. But I found people like on Instagram, and we all like kind of got along really well. Not to like name drop, but I believe, who did I know? There was like Shelby something. There was one girl who was really into R5. There was a few others. It was a long time ago. But I had this whole group, and we had like a group chat, and we would talk all the time. Be like, oh my gosh, I tried to post this thing and it wouldn't approve and all this. And I got really known as that one PPG drawer, or Powerpuff Girl drawer with the green hair, because that was my favorite color. It still is. And I would draw, it was myself with green hair. And it was usually me and this one character, like she was called Lucy 100. I could never find her outside of the Disney Create world, but she was freaky popular. Oh yes, Candy Floss too. Yes, she was really nice. I actually met her. We would talk on the Disney Create forums. There was like a wiki page, and we would always go in the group chat. There was a lot of Disney Create people who would go on the group chat thing, and she was really nice. I always liked her. I remember I would always talk about like Vocaloid music and stuff, and she was always like, I don't get how you guys can like that stuff. It's not even in English. I'm like, I don't know, it's more about the music. But that was one thing that like stuck with me about her. But yeah, Lucy 100, she was really, really popular. And I remember always wanting to get to know her outside of Disney Create, but I could never find her. So here's actually a really funny story. So you know how I mentioned there were moderators on Disney Create for what you could post? To get around, because I tried to get a message to her. I wanted her to find us, me and my friends from Disney Create, outside of the website on Instagram. So I made like a post to her. I drew a picture, and I said, hey, you're really cool. You're fun. And I specifically wrote the message to have a hidden message in it. And the hidden message, I took the words of the message and I colored them in a different color. So the message read, do you have an Instagram? And I posted it, and I think it was up for like a day, but then someone probably reported it for like having a hidden message, and it got removed. I still have the picture, but I tried really hard to get her to like find us, and it was this hidden secret message. And we always figured out too how to hide messages by you'd write it in like black, and then you'd hide it somewhere in your drawing, so you just barely see it, but the moderators didn't. And then it'd be like a hidden message, like find us on Instagram. But yeah, never found Lucy. That would have been really cool to meet her. She was really cute. Never really fully talked to her because of all like the Disney like blocks and stuff. But I remember one time too, on Disney Create, we had this group chat, and we were like, hey, what's stopping us from making a group account? And I was like, nothing, you know, like, let's do it. So we made a group account to draw on there, and each of us would log in and draw our own drawings. But I guess Disney didn't like that, and our account got taken down because they didn't like the idea of more than one person, popular creators, drawing on there. So yeah, that didn't last very long. It was still fun though, because like we had this one drawing that one of us drew our character, and then we'd go onto the file and draw our character in our style next to them. And it was just really neat to like have us, like, we'd never met in person, but we had our own shared account, and we all like drew together. It was a unique experience, and now that Disney Create's gone, I kind of feel like we'll never really have that again. Nothing's really gonna compare to that. But every once in a while, I get people remembering me from Disney Create, back when I was called the Ashta, which is, that's a funny story too. Disney was weird about like approving names on there. And I was getting frustrated when I first made my account, and I just typed randomly on the computer, and whatever my random keys somehow spelt out my username is the Ashta, and Disney's like, okay, you're good, and they never let me change my name. So I was stuck that way. It was just a random jumble of letters, and it just stuck. But every once in a while, people will message me and be like, hey, I remember you from Disney Create. That was so long ago, and it's still hilarious and really cool to me that people still know me from that. And it's really neat, because I was like 12 when I used to draw in there, and now I've graduated college with a animation degree. So if my younger self could see me now and see what I did, I kind of thank Disney Create for being the reason I got so into art and digital drawing. I mean, I bought a tablet for that. So now you guys know a little backstory on the life of me and my drawing abilities. I've definitely gotten a lot different with what I draw now. I'm way more into the anime style. I learned a lot from college on like making cool art and stuff, but I really stuck with this style. And I'm pretty happy about it, you know? I can't complain. And I don't know, ever since then I knew I wanted to do something with art for the future. Whether it's making my own content just on my own, or it's just trying to work somewhere for like an animation group or something, I just knew that art was what I wanted to do. All of like the positive comments I got and feedback, even from little on when I was drawing on Disney Create, was just such a big thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm really glad I did it, and it kept me creative. But yeah, I was always sad that Disney Create didn't approve like group accounts, and they like removed them right away. It was still fun though. I mean, a few people got to see it, but that was, yeah, Disney said no. But what can you do? They were very picky. I think they realized too that website got freaky popular, and they weren't anticipating it, and they're like, okay, let's take it down. This is a lot. But they deleted Toontown, they deleted Club Penguin, all of those big games. Like Flash stuff really died down. I still have an archive of Disney Create on my computer, so I can still use the drawing application, but I can't publish and I can't log into my account. It's just like the anime manga paint tool, and that's it. And it's like archived from like what 2015 was when that shut down? I can't really remember. That was so long ago. But I remember too, for like the anniversary of the closing of Disney Create, a bunch of us on DeviantArt went in and drew a group photo together. We all drew our characters from Disney Create and made like a goodbye post. It was cute. And then a few years later, I redrew that drawing to show how much I improved. The Ashta will always be a close character for me. I might bring her back in my comic one day, in Devilish. I think that'd be kind of fun. Like my old OC meets my new OC. I think that'd be kind of cute. I mean, she was supposed to be me, because I do have brown hair in real life, and green was always my favorite color. But, you know, it'd be fun. But it always really warms my heart when people mention that they remember me from Disney Create. So I'm really glad that you remember me, and anyone else who's ever told me that they remember me. It's really cool, too, to see where everybody from Disney Create has ended up. I know there was someone I met from Disney Create who, she's a cosplayer as well, like I am, and now we share cosplay pictures together, and it's really neat to see that. Like, people have gotten very similar hobbies to me since those days, and it's just really cool. Ah, the nostalgia, man. But yes, I don't really have any art saved from Disney Create on my computer right now. That would be something I could bring up in a different stream. I think some of the videos on my YouTube, I have a video up on my YouTube of my old Disney Create art that like I just had. So if you look through there, I think some of those might have been unapproved art, but I don't really remember. It's been so long. But yes, someone, I don't know, you can go on like the Disney Create wiki, I think, And somebody like they have like it's like a time machine link to the painter on Disney Create, I believe. I don't remember how I got it. There was someone who was like, hey, since this website's not exist, we have like an archived version of it that you can access. It doesn't run very good anymore because Flash Player is super outdated, but if I want to, I could, but it doesn't work very well. It's just kind of like a little like step back in time and you can like look at it. I wonder if I could find it and show you guys in the future. I don't know if I have it saved on my new laptop. This was like a long time ago that someone, like it was like right when Disney Create closed that this was archived, but yeah, I mean, it's still neat that people went out of their way to save that and people still remember it to this day. But yeah, looks like I'm almost done coloring the hair. I'm probably gonna end the stream now that I finished the hair because I need a break and my arm's starting to get sore. But here's what we have so far. Here is my drawing. I've got the hair and skin colored. We got the costume all drawn out, and that was a pretty solid amount of work time. I'm pretty happy with it. Yes, hi Jake, I see you. I notice you. Notice you, senpai. Alright, so I'm going to stop here for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed my drawing process. I will probably do another drawing stream soon where I will continue working on this drawing. But for now, I'm going to take a break and stretch my legs because I've been sitting for a while. But thank you to everybody who's joined in today. I'm going to switch over to my view of this. But yeah, feel free to tune in, I believe either tomorrow or Tuesday. It's scheduled for tomorrow for now, but things might change. Me and my sister are going to be playing Teamfight Tactics, and we'll see you then. Thanks for joining in. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys did too. And also, if you missed any of the stream, please feel free to watch from the beginning. You can always scroll back once this video is published. And yeah, I had a lot of